Hello. So is it just you on, or is there other people as well? Well, a lot of people are talking about the Russian sort of uniforms, or the sort of Communist Warsaw Pact uniforms on a lot of the recent streams, so I thought I put one on. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Frost. Say hello to everybody. It's not me in charge of those, John. You can never tell if you're joking or not when you say stuff like that. But I've got the RPK with the Soviet sort of, one of the Soviet sort of uniforms, although this is a Hungarian helmet. I think it's the same style one as a lot of the Soviet troops wore. I wonder, can I get the hood up properly and then put the helmet on over the hood? Let's have a look. It's real but deactivated. There we go. So don't forget to like the stream, everybody watching. Depends what size you get the helmet in, but this one's missing some of its liner, so it will fit on pretty much anybody's head. What I do need to do though is shorten the strap on this AK, so I'll probably do that now. Hopefully I'll still be in frame if I'm sat here, will I? So yeah, I'm still up. You should just be able to get plenty of Israeli masks on eBay. Right, let me adjust this strap. Just remembering which bit I pull through to shorten it. I think it's this bit. Put that a bit more. Pull that through again, and then that should be adjusted. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's struggling to get over the mag now, so I'm pretty sure I've managed it. Right. I'm not going to be able to get over the helmet now, am I? Right. There we go. That's adjusted properly now. Right, I'll go back to the chat. Not that I know of, John, no. You should be able to find some on eBay. I can't really type in on eBay for you at the moment, obviously, because I'm in the get-up. Of course, the strap's slowly adjusting itself back down, which is slightly annoying. Oh, that's cool, yeah. If you've got military gear that's legal to buy, do it and do videos on it. It's getting hot now. It's 25 degrees in my room, which is pretty unbearable, but I can't really run the aircon while the video's going, it will be too loud. No, I've not seen any of that, John. I know a lot of people say good things about those knives, but I've never really looked into them. Yeah, cheers Uranium Boy, this is Soviet SS NATO Camo. Yeah, it's legal, but you'd need a license. Alright, cool. Thanks, Winter Fox. I'll just show you a comment because it's held it for review for some reason. Oh, it's a firearms license. You have to read into all the Gov UK laws on firearms because, as said on the political thing, I don't want to start going into all the in and out details on firearms licenses, how you apply for a firearms license, all that sort of stuff, because that's very boring and not very interesting on the sake of a video, in my opinion. I was hoping we'd have a bit more people on than this, because we're 6 minutes in and it says there's only 12 people watching. Oh, you obviously can see me because I'm not in the woods. I've already said I'd visit the USA if I get a chance. This one I had to order from Russia. Lots of Russian and Ukrainian sellers have it. They either call it Partisan Camo or the proper name is SS Leto. It's basically a German World War II camo that the Soviets reproduced and recoloured. So if you look at some of the German World War II camos, it's basically the same camo, but I think the German one's a bit less colourful. So it's basically designed as a summer camo for sort of European woodland type theatres. And it works very well for that. Essentially yellow, brown and green. Right, don't forget to like the stream, everybody, if you haven't liked it so far, because that might actually help some more people get the notifications for it. Because evidently I don't think it's sent it out to many people if we've only got 15 people watching and I did send it out. Don't know what you're on about there, Rafal. I've got some coffee, but I'm going to wait for it to cool down a bit before I start drinking it, especially because it's too hot in my room, so I'm going to really start overheating if I start drinking the coffee soon. I don't know what you're on about with that, the Winter Gaming Fox. I have no interest in politics, as said, so please stop bringing up politics if that's what you're on about. Unless you mean police. Well, this was done specifically so it's a different time zone for people in different time zones, Frost. RPK, Beeben. It's got the Fox folded down at the moment, the underfolder. Polite helmets. Do you mean flying helmets or pilot helmets? You wouldn't call them polite helmets. Polite is like being nice to people. You mean pilot helmets, don't you? P-I-L-O-T. Don't really know, Raphael. Those questions are always very vague. What are you going to do in the future? I guess stay alive. Might end up being a short stream. Ah, that's why you, Richard, no notification. Yeah, I thought it was odd that we've only had 15 people on, I've been going for 10 minutes. Don't know what you mean with that, Winter Gaming Fox. I've been to airsoft games before, if you mean that. I don't regularly go to them, as I've said over and over again on here. If the bell's unticked on the bottom, make sure you tick the bell next to the subscribe thing. And I've already said, make sure you like the stream, because it seems that sometimes if not enough people like a stream, it doesn't actually send out notifications to people. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if people did want to donate, but you're not forced to. Right, tell you what, I'm going to take this hood down for a minute because this is really heavy. Not heavy, sorry, really hot. Just because the room's getting over 25 degrees now and it's trapping all the heat. Tell you what, to put the AK down as well. Get that out a bit later in the stream when more people are in. Just sit down for now. That way I can actually read comments a bit better than when I'm standing up. AK-74 probably, Caleb, but it's a very vague question as well, and as I said, I wouldn't do very well in a post-apocalyptic scenario. It's a Hungarian helmet. I can't remember the exact model number, but it's one where it's basically very similar to the Soviet helmets because it's a Warsaw Pact helmet basically. But you can see there's marks on it where I've tried shooting it with air rifles and pistol crossbows. Nothing got through it out of the conventional test. I think once the video's started you won't get a notification after that, but that's what happens every time with Mike's streams, Richard, with me, that I can re-tick the bell, but it's always unticked. Yeah, I mean, the AK-74 platform is pretty accurate because it's obviously better than the AKM in terms of accuracy, because 545 is flatter trajectory than 7.62 by 39. I've already done the video today. No man. Check. It's always on at the same time, 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, Friday and a Sunday. This camo is Soviet SS Leto. So I thought I'd wear it with a commie helmet as well. There you go. It's one of the best camos you can get for woodland. Generally, accuracy comes down a lot more to the shooter than the rifle as well. Obviously, yeah, the rifle's accuracy will play a factor, but there's not many shooters, to be honest, that can outshoot the accuracy of their own rifles. That's why for a long time most rifles didn't even bother going over a 3 MOA, or under a 3 MOA I should say, accuracy sort of score, because for mass production it was better to have a rifle that was accurate enough and mass producible, and something that, you know, was very accurate if you were mass training troops to use it. It's slightly water resistant, I think. Because No Man Inc., it would cost me several £100s a year, and under UK laws, if somebody sent me illegal, then I could be charged for it. So it's a lot of money for not worth the risk, in my opinion. Depends on the law. Some are dumber than others. No, I haven't got any new flashlights for ages. I've done videos, I'm pretty sure, on all the ones I've actually got. Do you mean an NBC suit? Yes. I've got several. It's still going to depend a bit on the gun, isn't it, and what you want it for. 22 long rifle is very good for practicing and everything, and varmint control, whatever you want to call it, but it's not very good for you know, use against bigger game or whatever. Yeah, thank you everybody who do like the stream, that would help, as said. Let's have a look how many, let's have a look at the numbers. Now today's video's got 589 views today, so that's pretty good. I was just looking, now I'll look at the stream stuff. So 19 live viewers, 14 likes. Well, it's true, but that's just because of how available the round is, and a lot of people don't take 22 long rifle as a serious round, so they do stupid things with it. Yeah, exactly, Richard. Unless you're a very, very good shooter, you're probably not going to be able to go beyond the accuracy of the rifle, at least beyond the accuracy of the rifle consistently. I've got 2 boiler suits, they're not waterproof, so they wouldn't be good as NBC suits because water would, or the chemicals would get into the fabric and then it's on your skin and you're dead or seriously injured. So no, the boiler suit is completely not viable. If you had some sort of boiler suit thing that was made from a waterproof material, then maybe, but not a conventional boiler suit. No, a 22 long rifle is not like a BB gun. Yeah, fishing waders are what I'm using on my homemade NBC suit. Because if you have fishing waders that come all the way up to your chest, they're pretty good for, you know, keeping you dry and therefore alive in the event of a chemical attack. Hello, Mr. Tucker. I've watched the Purge television series that was on Amazon Prime, but I've not watched any of the films. If you like the mugs, you can buy one. If you look in the description below, there's a Teespring link, and there's yeah, you can get the mugs in different colours, all the shirts in different colours, GP5s as well as the Mark 5. Oh no, because it's still a bullet, B-Ben. Like, pretty much any firearm can kill somebody if it hits them in a vital organ. The problem is a lot of people with 22 long rifle don't take it seriously, and because it's the most used caliber in the US, because, you know, the rounds are cheap, so it's good for training with, that's why a lot of people get killed with it. I don't know, Alex, because I don't have one. Unless it says in the description, I can't tell you, because I just choose the products I want to put the logos on, and then it lets me do it. Yeah, I've been to Poland, I liked it. I went to Warsaw, Krakow, and a couple of other smaller places in Poland. I was there for about a week and a half. That was in, I think, 2015. The problem is, Caleb, that you could still have your neck broken or, like, you know, serious trauma caused, even if the helmet itself could stop the round. Because if something hits a helmet hard enough, it will break your, you know, neck, or it could, you know, pulverize your brain or whatever. This is the Hungarian version, but yeah, very close. If you want to see the inside, There you go. The straps are broken on it, but well, if you buy a white one, it doesn't matter, because you buy a white one and the entire mug is white other than the logo and the thing. It's just when you get the coloured ones, that's the same with like every mug you buy in the shop as well. Like all my mugs that I've got in the kitchen that have patterns on or colours, they never do by the handle, because I think that's how they print them. Yeah, I've got 2 Geiger counters. It will stop concussions to a degree, but my point is, as you get, you know, helmets that are able to stop, you know, faster and heavier cartridges, you're going to get to a point where the helmet can't stop your head basically being pulverised, because there's no way. It's like why you can't make a car that will save somebody's life crashing at 100 miles per hour. It just can't be done. Yeah, exactly what Richard said. When you get cartridges that are big enough, even if you had a material that could physically stop them, the actual force of all that foot-pound of energy hitting something is going to have to transfer into the target somehow. So if it doesn't penetrate the helmet, that's going to go into your head and neck, which is likely to break your neck, scramble your brains, you know, horribly concuss you even if you survived. I've done a helmet collection video, Dennis, so if you watch that you can see. I'm not actually sure off the top of my head, but my favourite helmet out of all of them is the British Commando helmet, it's called, which is the one the armed police use, and it's very much like a US casket helmet. The British Mark 7 helmets are fairly comfortable as well. I'm not going to do one of those masks today just because I have to keep getting them down. My room's already now nearly 25.5 degrees centigrade, so I'm just going to sweat like a pig with a mask on. No, I don't have any US choc chip camo. Yeah, it's like, Mike, have you seen that mock-up guy they did that would be like what the human body would have to look like to survive a car crash, which is that really weird looking, like, flubby person thing? I imagine it'd be like that. The human body, you know, could not, how it's shaped, design massive firearms impacts even if it had the armour. But you wouldn't actually hear a sniper, would you? I think that was Mike's first post in the stream. I don't know if Mike didn't get a notification either. Yeah, if the sniper misses you, but yeah, if the sniper hits you, you wouldn't hear it, you'd be dead. You don't hear the bullet that kills you. But yeah, if it hits somebody else or you hear the crack later, yeah. Yeah, everybody's been saying they haven't got a notification for this one, which is a pain in the ass. Maybe it's if you do more than one stream in a day or something, it doesn't give out the notification for the later one, I don't know. Oh, that's a really cool noise, the brrr, but you don't actually hear the brrr at the target. The shells hit before the sound actually reaches you again, like most of these things. I know one of the names they gave for the MG42 in World War II was Hitler's Zip, because apparently an MG42 firing sounds like somebody pulling a zip up and down really loud, basically, because of the fire rate. You know, rather than hearing the individual rounds, you hear like a crackling noise. Yeah, as I said earlier, this helmet's been shot with an air rifle and pistol crossbow quite a few times. It stopped everything. But one of the things I like doing with this helmet was to put like a bottle or something on the top, shoot the helmet here, obviously not with anyone wearing it, and you could get the ricochet to go up and make the water bottle explode from hitting the helmet there, and you got the really cool noise when it ricocheted off the helmet. I think personally you'd get more out of it, Beeban, if you bought some merch off the store, because I get money either way. I probably get a bit more money through Patreon, to be honest, but I think personally it's better for people to get something out of it, and if you bought a bit of merch, you've at least got something, haven't you? Like a shirt or a mug or a poster or whatever, whereas if you support me on Patreon, I do get some money that I can put towards stuff, but you don't really get anything out of it, to be honest. So personally, I think more people should actually get the merch, even if I make a bit less from it, than supporting me on Patreon, just because I think they get more out of it that way. Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. So I might not do 2 streams on the same day anymore. I might, although I prefer doing 2 shorter streams, I might just pick one time to do a stream that day. Just because it is a bit irritating, isn't it, even when I did the community announcement. See, I bet if I hadn't done that community announcement today, I bet not many people would have found the stream. Because I've noticed sometimes as well, if I'm doing a stream, I've got a load of people watching, there's a technical problem and I have to restart the stream, you only get like a third of the people come back on, and you think most of those, if they were watching happily, would have clicked the notification again straight away. So yeah, I reckon that's it. I reckon if you do more than one stream in one day, YouTube doesn't put a notification out for it. The one I spent the most on was an XM28E4 Jaboy. Oh yeah boy. Yeah, the problem is though, as I've said before, Beeban, the Discord might not be there forever anyway, because I've had to ban a lot of people off of it where people were joining just to cause trouble, basically. Because, you know, as it only costs $1 to join, a lot of people would pay the $1, come on, then start, you know, shit-talking people or whatever and that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of times where I'm tempted just to delete the Discord, just because that way I wouldn't have to try and moderate it, you know, or sort out any of the petty shit people get up to. As I just said, I don't know who you're replying to, Mr. Tucker, with that, but it is a Hungarian helmet, yeah, but I'm assuming an SSH-40 cover would fit it. Like an M1 helmet cover would fit it, because most ballpark kind of helmets are close enough that if you buy a large helmet cover, they fit all of them, because most of them aren't the exact size of the helmet, they're just sort of like a drawstring cover. No, well, the thing is, like I said, I've only got one moderator on there that's a friend I know in real life, because I wouldn't trust anyone through the internet to moderate the server. No, everybody's missing the point. One of the Patreon rewards I have on the Patreon server is that you get an access to a Discord server. So no matter how much you pay on Patreon, if you support me, you get access to a Discord. But the problem is, as I've been saying, is a lot of people come on the Discord to abuse people. And that's why I'm getting sick of it. Does that make sense? It should be quite a simple thing. I don't know Lucas either, because I don't have psychic powers. I've already been asked. I do that sometimes, but I'm not going to do that now, just because my room's 25.5 degrees at the moment, and that's centigrade, not Fahrenheit. I'm already quite warm, and I don't want to put a rubber mask on in a warm room, because I have to take my glasses off as well, which means I can't read the comments as well. When it's a colder day, I'll do another stream wearing a gas mask. Well, the problem is, Beeban, is that lots of people say stuff like that, and then lots of people cause trouble. Army surplus stores, FlexCat, or eBay. Don't know what my worst fear is, really. Don't know, but I do. Winter Gaming Fox, so you tell me. I don't know. I can do that. Tell you what, Alex, I'll design one of them once the stream ends. Right, start designing. I might even be able to do it while the stream's going. So a fleece blanket, yeah? Right, I'll do it now and then I'll link to it. Just a second. Right, let me get all the colours up. So I won't do the really dark colours because the black image for the GP5 doesn't tend to work very well on really dark colours. But I can do most shades of colour. Okay, so let's go to the red one. Add image, pictures. Right, it won't take me long to design this, and then when it's up I'll link people to it. I'm just seeing how big I can have the GP5 image before it says it looks low quality. Right, there we go, that's as big as I can have it, so I'll have that roughly centered. There we go, and then I can have the weapons and stuff logo fairly big as well. That's the only problem with Teespring, is it will get to the stage where it doesn't let you put a particular logo on something, because if it has to stretch too much it doesn't like it. Right, now let me put the price down on that, because I don't think anybody's going to want to pay $50 for this. Okay, so if I charge $42 for it, I only get like $3 profit, but that's fine. It's actually like nearly at the low end of what I can do. 42 euros, it would have to be 43 euros, wouldn't it? Otherwise there's no profit. 44. Right, there we go. So, GP5 fleece, let me just sort this out. I'll link you to it as soon as I've done it, just so the people who want it can get one. Alright, continue. I've made the GP5 image as big as I can on there, but for some reason Teespring doesn't let you make some images bigger than a certain size on certain products, because it says the print quality will look low. So I've made it as big as it will let me do it and centered it, but you know, it says I can't have it. GP5 fleece blanket. GP5 fleece blanket. Artwork by Art Turner, because I need to credit him for the picture. Publish listing. Right, I'm just making it now, and then I'll put a link in the chat to it. I don't know what you mean by the stab vest. It will get heavy if you're wearing it for a load of hours in a row, but it's not too unmanageable because it's a fairly comfortable one where the weight's supported quite well and it's quite soft. I got mine I think a week and a half after ordering it, because basically it says with them that if you buy them you can do a thing where you do like express thing where they print it the same day or next day. But if you don't do that, then it's like they do them in a big production run, because obviously it doesn't cost me anything for the merch up front. So, right, here we go. I think this has worked. Let me just check the URL works, and then I'll link people. Right, yeah, here we go. Right, in the chat then. There you go. Click that, and then you can pick any of the colours, look. As I said, the GP5 logo isn't as big on it as I wanted it to be, but that's because it will only let you stretch it to a certain size before it says the print quality would look low. It'd probably look quite good on a grey fleece, I think, or some of the yellow ones. Maybe even pink? I'm not sure. Well, the light blue is actually quite nice. I like the light blue and orange for that. But yeah, I think the US price for it, was it $42? Because that was like almost as low as I could have it at a round number. The gas mask I'd use would be the CT12. What do you mean average time for eBay? When you buy something, it depends completely on the seller, because eBay's not like Amazon where you're buying it from an official company. You're buying through buyers on eBay. So, yeah, if you bought something on eBay, it depends what the sellers put as the postage time. They might not do that on all items. I know it says on some of the Teespring things, though, when you look at them, it says if you want it done on Express, you click here, but that might be on a certain thing. But yeah, like I said, there's quite a few bits of merch. If you look on the store, it's not just the stuff you'll see below, like the highlighted merch, there's other stuff as well. Because sometimes people say, I'd buy that if you had it in a certain colour. Well, there is, you just have to click on the thing and then you can pick the colours. But for the profile pictures for the merch, I just pick the one I think looks the best. But again, some people don't like that. Like, some people just want a white mug, not a yellow one. Like, I got this in yellow because I quite like the contrast between yellow and black, like the Gadsden flag kind of thing. But some people were like, oh, I'd just rather have it in white. Well, if you want it in white, you can have it in white. What the Winter Gaming Fox, the mug? Was that the logo mug, or the Mark V mug, or the GP5 mug? Which one was it you wanted? Yeah, that's up to the seller though, the Nate. T-shirt. Which T-shirt was it you wanted? And then I can have a look for the thing. Yeah, let me know which one you wanted me to post and I'll post it. I'll just need to get my Teespring up itself, but I've got the link in the thing, haven't I, for that? So. Alright, let me get you a GP5 t-shirt up, for example, and then if you want something else you can click on a different one, but let me just get that up. Right, GP5 shirt. Alright, here we go. That's the GP5 one. If you want, say for example, sorry I'm sweating quite a lot because the room's getting really warm now. The problem is because, as I've said before, in the summer my room, the heat can't escape it and I can't run my aircon when I'm streaming. Just because it will get too warm. But let's find my logo t-shirt because that does exist somewhere on here. Where is it? Oh, it's because it's for some reason the most popular thing, so it's right at the top, and I wasn't expecting it to be right at the top. Right, try... Yeah, you can only do 200 characters in a comment. Try that link. Does that one work? There's not as many colour choices for this one, but I think the dark grey looks quite good, or the light blue for that one. Well, as I've said before, I don't actually want World War II uniforms in terms of actually having a uniform because of the whole stolen valor thing. But if you meant like combat style uniform, like the camo and that, maybe some of the 44 dot kind of stuff. Or actually British brushstroke. I'd love some British brushstroke, like paratrooper gear. Yeah, I'll be watching that about 9 PM. I reckon as soon as I'm done with this stream, Mike, what I'm going to have to do is put my aircon on, I reckon, because this room's nearly 26 degrees now. And where I've been wearing this gear, it's making me feel even hotter. I don't know if the webcam can pick it up, but there's sweat constantly running down my forehead. You can do water bottles, can you? Because when I looked at the merch, I didn't spot an option to do water bottles. Let's have a look. Get started. Create products. Because the thing is with Teespring, I'm happy to do like any of the designs as long as my thing goes on it, but there's lots of things where I can't see the option to do it. Because yeah, the water bottle's not showing up on here as an option, but Mike thinks, I think he said to me before, sometimes you have to wait a bit longer, like have your account open for a certain amount of time before they let you do all the products. But yeah, it won't let me do a water bottle at the moment. Sorry, what's the thing of being a pest about nitrous? Yeah, I've got a Serbian M1 or a Yugoslav M1. It'd be technically a Yugoslav M1 mask because it was made before Serbia was actually its own independent country, and I've got a Serbian M2 mask. I don't have an M3 or M4. Yeah, that's why Mr. Tucker, when he was saying if I could get any World War II stuff, that's why I chose that, because it's very rare and hard to find. Alright, cool. Yeah, you can make your own ghillie suit if you can't buy one Winter Gaming Fox, because what you could do is sew a load of scrim netting into a camo of your choice. You could get like M81 Woodland or something, then get some green and brown scrim nets, cut those up, and then stitch them onto the sleeves and like the knees, and that would work as a ghillie suit. Okay then, yeah, I guess there isn't a water bottle option for UK Teespring accounts. GP5 filters and GP7s are both GOST, yeah, but I wouldn't really advise you using a GP5 filter because of, you know, the asbestos in it. Oh, cool, so you're just going to buy a second-hand ghillie suit. That'd be kind of interesting if it's like a US Army issue one or whatever. Or USAF issue. USAF, even? United States Air Force. Yeah, but again, like I was saying, I wouldn't buy a ghillie suit. I'd build my own if I had the option. I'd get a load of Woodland DPM stuff or whatever, then I'd sew a load of scrim netting onto it, because then it's a bit more original. Let us know if your Serbian M1 mounts nitrous. Mine's been fine, but some people have reported their masks have melted with those. I might get some ice cream actually once this stream finishes as well, because it's starting to feel a bit like summer now. And obviously this traps all the heat, because the heat rises off my head, then gets stuck in the helmet. Exactly, yeah, you could get some scrim netting or fake leaves, because you can get those like aquarium plant ones, can't you, that are quite realistic? No. I haven't bid on any Kevlar things recently. When I got the British one, that was just to buy it now, £30 plus £3 postage or something for the front and back Kevlar plates, and I haven't bought any things for it yet. This one was actually from an actual physical surplus store, and I bought it like 10 or so years ago. I'm sure I could have got one for a better price on eBay. Let's have a look. But I think I paid like £30 for this from the surplus store, and it's not even got a working liner. So let's see. Hungarian helmet. Oh yeah, these are $14.99 on eBay. Yeah, for those of you that are interested, if you wanted one of these helmets, let me just get this up. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper if you got one on eBay. Just to show you. There you go. I'm not sure. So, I'm not sure what the bundled up plastic is. Tell us when you get it, because when I bought mine it came with some plastic wrap, but that was just, you know, to keep the mask in. It wasn't anything special. I've just put a link up to that one. I don't know if I've bought from this surplus seller before, but what I'm saying is this helmet I've got, complete with the chin strap, is on there at the moment for like 14 quid with free postage. A lot cheaper than what I got this one for from the surplus store years ago. I'm just going to have a look at what military helmets are up on there at the moment. Some Czech helmets. Oh, there's a Serbian Yugoslavian helmet for £14. I might buy one actually. Right, I'm going to buy this. It says it should come before Friday, so I'll buy that. I'll put it on my card. Yeah, I'm going to get a Yugoslavian helmet, because a load of people asked me if I got a Yugoslavian helmet, and I haven't. But for 14 quid, I might as well get one. €10 and £13 isn't very different. There we go. Right, I've bought that. So hopefully that will come before next Friday. And then I can wear the Yugo helmet in some of the streams. Because Ghost is pretty much a non-used thing anymore, Nate. Only Russia uses it now. I've got some Yugoslavian sniper camo, which is very similar in colours to this. It's yellow, brown and green, but it's like big stripes. So that might be good for this summer. Right, see you no Manink. Bye. But yeah, you can buy a lot of cheap Yugoslavian old military equipment. Yeah, I totally agree, historical European swordsman. If you've got a lot of this sort of gear, even though I just have obviously mine for a collectible kind of thing, there's uses for it, isn't it, in case of emergency. Which helmet are you on about, Nitrous? Something like £13 for one of these isn't really too pricey, is it? It's not very much at all. Oh, you're on about the Pascut, sorry, I missed that. Is there an equivalent you can get to Pascuts though? Because in the UK, buying an actual Pascut costs loads, but buying an armed police Kevlar helmet is a lot cheaper, and they're the exact same thing. So you might be something like in the US, could you buy like SWAT helmets or something for less than the Pascut? What I'd recommend you do then, the Nate 371, is do what I showed in one of the videos where you get a rubber O-ring. Let me see if I've got one to show you what I mean. I think I have someone. There, yeah, get one of these. Some filters come with these. So you get one of them. A rubber O-ring that's in 40mm. You put that inside Ghost Mask's filter intake, then you can force a NATO filter on that should make an airtight seal. So that gives you some options at least. I always keep them when I open the filter and they come with O-rings, just because they're so useful to keep as spares, or like spares and repairs for other masks. The MP6 looks really cool, but sadly I don't have one yet. There's two variants, aren't there? There's an MP6, I think it's with a panoramic lens, isn't it? And there's an MP6 which has the two separate lenses, but they both look really cool, but sadly there's none on the UK surplus market yet, but I'm sure they'll turn up there eventually. I've got a Polish MP5, and an MP4, and an MP4B, and an MC1, and the ML, whatever it's called, the civilian mask from the 50s. Yeah, that'd be good, Richard. Yeah, if your forge is working, I'd say go for it and get all that stuff done. Yeah, I'll stand up Shot Zombie so you can have a good look at it. I'll get the AK back out again as well. But yeah, it's very good camo. I'm definitely going to do, this summer, get one of my friends to help me do a camo test, and we're going to use this one, because I reckon this would work really well in the woods during proper summer. No, because I'm in the UK and I don't have a firearms license. It's called SS Lito, Mike. It's basically the history of this camo is it's a German World War II camo, but that was in slightly different colours. Then at some point, I don't know if it was the 70s or the 80s, the Soviet Union decided they were going to do a copy and recolour it, and this is like the modern Soviet Russian copy recoloration, and they'd called it partisan colour camo, or SS Lito. SS Lito obviously being a reference to the Schussstaffel, as in the Germans. So yeah, I'll show you. I'll put a link on eBay to this camo. I might be able to find a seller I bought mine from for anybody who's interested. Right, I don't think this is the seller I bought it from, but it's this kind of thing. Hang on. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody, if you haven't liked the stream yet, just shouting that out. It's a bit expensive compared to some of the UK camos, because obviously you're having to buy it from Russia. But, yeah, my one's trousers and the top, I'll just show you by standing on the bed. So it is at least 2 sets, but this is the stuff, they call it a summer one, because you can wear this without clothes underneath in the summer, so it's a lot cooler. Or you can, in the winter, wear it on top of other clothes. Yeah, I like a lot of Russian camos, because Russia's gone, you know, Russia has tried loads of camo designs, haven't they, in the past? Yeah, it seems to make an airtight fit, Nate. I've not noticed any leaks in mine, even when I've used banana oil and stuff like that, so no smells seem to get in. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this isn't reversible, this is just like, you know, more faded on the inside. See, the mistake I'm wearing is I'm wearing clothes under this. Really, I should be naked under it and I'd be a lot more comfortable. But yeah. Yeah, 29 it says here, but yeah, you're right, Richard. It's not too bad now. Let's have a look at what the current lot of things are. Let's refresh that. Yeah, 35 likes, 26 live viewers, so that's pretty good. Yeah, but the problem is, like I said, Shot Zombie, is I should have remembered not to have worn stuff underneath it, because that's the idea. In the summer you don't wear anything underneath it, so it's really breathable. It's a bit like the expression going commando, isn't it? Because that's apparently where a lot of that comes from, is like not wearing underwear under your military clothes so you get less sweaty. But yeah, I didn't think to do that obviously before the video. And now, as my room's getting hotter and hotter because the heat being built up by the computer and the lights and everything isn't escaping, and also because it's the evening now, the sun sets facing my bedroom, so the sunlight comes in and makes it even hotter. The hose is easier to do without messing about, and you're less likely to damage your mask, Nate. It's just the O-ring is simpler if you just want to filter directly on the mask. But yeah, you might as well just go the hose route if you want to do that. That's cool, Winter Gaming Fox. If I remember, I'll check your channel out later, but obviously a bit later on I'm watching Weapon Collector's video, so there's a few videos I want to watch today and I'll probably not get round to doing it. Well, it's up to you, Beeben. How it works is you can wear clothes under it for the winter, so you like zip it over the winter, or if you know you're not warm. But if it's a really hot summer, you're basically wearing nothing under it. Like, you might have underwear on under it, but the idea is that, you know, you have almost nothing on under it, because then the suit's quite breathable in itself, so you stay fairly cool. Now, you wouldn't know though, but I'm not. As you can see, I've actually got stuff on under it. Only pyjamas, but these are wool pyjamas as well, which don't help. Because I'm getting... Oh, it's got to 26 degrees now looking at the thermostat. Well, the Scott GSR doesn't work very well. That's the scary thought, isn't it, Mike? It's true. I don't know, but the problem is, like we were saying with all that armour, is that the bulkier you make the armour, you're eventually going to get to the situation where you either make something so bulky and heavy that nobody wants to wear it, or if it's not that bulky or heavy, it could still break bones or cause serious injury or death, you know, even if it can physically stop the bullet. So there's probably no winning when you're getting shot at by that kind of caliber round. No, I don't think I've seen that. So is that Phoenix, Arizona? Or, so how does that work? Is it like not a plate carrier kind of body armour then? Okay, well, compressed nylon's not a particularly new idea. Old flak jackets used to be what they call ballistic nylon, and that was nylon compressed really, really tightly. And then later they invented Kevlar, and, you know, Kevlar was swapped out for the nylon. Well, they swapped the nylon out with Kevlar in, you know, the later models. But it's essentially exact same stuff. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some way they can go back and now make ballistic nylon better than it was before. I don't know how spider silk armor works. So how did they cause injury if the plates work so well, or do you mean people that would normally die were injured? Because I know in World War I there was the funny thing, well, I say funny, but you'll get why I mean funny, it's like the ironic kind of funny. When they first introduced helmets, you know, from cloth hats, the casualty, not fatality, but the casualty figures from shrapnel went up massively. And they were saying, why are the figures going up if they're being given helmets? But that's exactly why, because soldiers that were normally being killed were now casualties, not fatalities. So, you know, that was the sort of funny thing, that when they introduced helmets in World War I, all the nation said, why are more soldiers getting injured now? But those were the ones that would have been dying previously. Well, you have trauma plates mostly for that reason, yeah, but also because a regular Kevlar panel isn't going to stop a rifle caliber round. Oh, what, so the actual plate itself would smack into them really hard if the projectile hit it? Oh, I see. So rather than the big plate spreading the impact over a big plate, it was a smaller plate, and then the plate would just get moved with the round. Yeah, that makes sense. I get where you're coming from. So yeah, bigger plates are a bit better for the reason that they spread the impact over the plate. Yeah, that makes perfect sense now. It depends on the mask. If you're a size 1 GP5, you'd want small to medium in most NATO masks, but let's say you're getting an S10 or something like that, then you would need a size 3, because the S10 goes from large to small. So a size 1 S10 is big, the size 3 and small S10 is small. So it depends on the mask. Which mask are you thinking of, Roy? And I'll see if I know which measuring thing it uses. Oh, had like a little hiccup thing there. Yeah, I imagine there's probably a lot of research being done, isn't there, Richard, on all those to work out which ones have better applications and for what. Because I know at one point there was a company that made an alternative to Kevlar, and it was meant to be a better alternative to Kevlar in the sense I think it was lighter and thinner, you know. So you could have a vest that weighed less and it would offer a better level of protection. But then that company went bankrupt because of lawsuits, because there was a flaw with their design. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was if it got slightly damp it would completely fail. It was something like that, you know. And then all their armour basically had to be recalled or recycled or whatever. because it turned out, you know, the shelf life of the armour was really low compared to what they thought because of how the weave had been done. It was really good for the first year or something, and then it stopped working. Yeah, that's a real FAL. It's a British L1A1 SLR, but it's deactivated. I suppose you'd need a lot of padding though, wouldn't you, on a giant titanium helmet? Didn't Forgotten Weapons do a video on that one? If that's the one I'm thinking of, yeah, that looked quite cool. Because it's the Israeli FALs are like the British ones, aren't they, where they have a forward assist on them, which is actually better than a lot of the FALs, because the original Belgian FALs didn't have forward assist, but British and Israeli FALs have a forward assist, so you can force rounds into battery better with them. So they work, you know, in less reliable conditions. But yeah, the Israeli FALs look pretty good. I was watching the Forgotten Weapons video on it. The only thing I don't like about the Israeli FALs is the weird handguard. I know some people do like that, but I prefer like the quite sleek looking handguard the SLRs have. I don't know if that would be a good price or not for one, because I'm not in the US, so how does that compare to other battle rifle style rifles? Like, how much would an M1 Garand cost? How much would an M14 cost? How much would other FALs cost? P90 is more of a submachine gun personal defence weapon though. Depends what you want it for. You couldn't issue it to like all your soldiers. Yeah, helmets like this are like £13 though over here. Okay, so if an M1 Garand's close to $1,000, it's probably not too much more then, is it, for a FAL? If that's 1.4. So an M1 Garand actually costs £1,000. Laughing my own shit joke there. The temperature's still going up in this room, oh no. Well, personally, as I said, because I'm not in the US, that's not going to interest me too much what you can buy in the US, because obviously, like Weapon Collector says, you're just teasing yourself sometime if you look at too many shooting videos and stuff from the US. Yeah, let me show you, Aaron. Hang on. .1. My room traps the heat, and I'm wearing obviously all this gear that's making me overheat a bit now. So I'm definitely putting my aircon on as soon as I finish streaming. This is a Hungarian helmet. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I had a link to this helmet earlier in the stream. Let's see if I've still got the link. I know that's the SS Leto. If you go on eBay and type in Hungarian helmet, you can get these on there for like £13. I bought this one for like 30 quid years ago, but you can get them for not too much. The leather padding's actually quite good in this. Oh, as in, what's the temperature like for summer? Yeah, it's getting warmer now, but it's not going to be fully fledged summer yet. This is similar to what the German World War II helmets, isn't it, in terms of how the leather padding's done, if I remember right. I mean, how cheap these helmets are, you might even be able to buy these, take the liner out, and then put it in another helmet fairly cheaply. That might be a good way of doing it, I don't know. Tell you what I could try, because I've never even thought of doing this, but this might be a good idea. Oh, thank you, Mike, yeah. Is maybe with, you know that M1 helmet I had on my earlier stream, because that has the removable liner, because it's like the plastic dish thing, I wonder if I could take that out and then just quickly shove it in some of my other helmets, just to wear the other helmets on the stream, because I imagine some people would like me to wear a Stow helm. I probably wouldn't ever wear the German World War II helmet, just because, you know, German World War II helmet. But I might wear my old Swiss Stow helm that's similar but different. I ended up buying a Yugoslav helmet because it was about the same price for the old Yugoslavian helmet that looked like the East German one. So I thought I'll get one of them to wear during the stream. That's cool, Richard. When I do the videos on the glaive, I'll link to your channel, so hopefully that'll get a few more people checking you out as well. Yeah, that tends to happen for the first few times shot zombie, because they tend to put too much charcoal in them. Yeah, because of that reason they are people wouldn't. It's bad enough with some of the comments I get on here that I have to block people for, you know, with, I'm sure you know what I'm getting at, so I don't want to encourage any of those people a bit more by actually wearing some of the Third Reich kind of stuff. Sometimes that's just when accounts get closed or whatever else, Beeben. Oh yeah, if anybody who's watching this, like Richard who comments, he makes pole arms and armour and weapons and things, so if you're interested, check out Richard's channel. Yeah, I'm not going to. As I said though, if I can get my M1 helmet liner to go into my Swiss style helmet, I'll wear that, because that looks more like a Darth Vader helmet. I'll just put a picture in the chat of the one I'm on about. If I can get one with a short link. Right, never mind. If you Google, I'll tell you what to Google and then you can see it come up. My M1 helmet, I think, is a Norwegian copy. It's got Danish stamps in it, so I know Denmark used it, but Denmark bought surplus from everybody because they didn't want to spend, you know, top dollar on stuff. So you can pretty much find any country surplus in Denmark, but I have a feeling it might be a Norwegian or a Swedish version of an M1 helmet. It's definitely not an American one because a load of the text in it is definitely not English, but there you go. If you Google Swiss style helmet M18, I've got that without a liner. It's quite a goofy looking helmet. It looks a bit like a Darth Vader helmet. So I'm going to see if I can get the M1 liner to go in it, and if it does, then I can wear that for a stream. The actual shell of that is in really good condition. It's just got no liner in it. So, alright, see you. I am the typer. I'm going to be on at least another 10 minutes for this stream, but as it's now 26.3 C, I'm going to need to be finishing soon, because I just need to, as soon as this stream's over, get an ice cream and whack the aircon on full blast, ready for when Mike starts his stream so I don't overheat. I'd say shiny helmets, but it depends on the helmet. I also like ones that are painted with a camo design on them. Obviously you can put covers on them as well, can't you? I'd say probably more likely shiny helmets because they reflect light and look a bit more interesting. I don't know, I'm going to look in the freezer and see what's in there. We probably have different types. Okay, that's a tough one because technically the knights outnumber the people with handguns. However, I take it you mean two modern handguns. However, the armour would be capable of stopping some pistol caliber rounds. Can I choose what the handguns are? Because if you could choose the handguns, I reckon something like an FN57 pistol might be able to shoot through that armour, because it's specifically designed to be an armour penetrating round. So if you had two guys with FN57s and they had the 20 round magazines in them, I reckon they could win because they could double tap each of the knights, and I reckon the 5.7 rounds would pierce the armour, but I don't reckon like 9mm or whatever would necessarily go through some medieval armour, especially if they had the gambeson and everything on underneath the plate, because if you were wearing like chainmail, you know, the plate and everything, I think the pistol round would probably flatten out and get stuck part way through. Yeah, especially if you have the military grade ammo for it, not the stuff the civilians can normally buy. Yeah, it's a shame more nations don't do reversible camos now. I was looking at some of the Finnish World War II stuff the other day, or it was like early Cold War stuff, and they did like the winter and summer ones where you could just flip the thing inside out and then you had a different camo pattern. It's a shame more places don't do that, because that would probably be quite cheap and good, wouldn't it, if you could have like woodland DPM or then like MTP on the other side of a uniform and you could just flip them inside out. Hi Peach, I'm only on like another 10 minutes though, but I'll be on my stream later. It's probably just cost them too much to print, I imagine. But then you think, how come they managed that in the 1950s no problem, but they can't manage it today with a lot more, you know, innovations in industry? It seems a bit weird, that, to me. Stalker, definitely. No question about it, Stalker. No military photography stuff, no. I don't have any old, like, military cameras or, you know, anything like that. Let me search the name of that mask and I can tell you. I've got the MC one. Is the MA one slightly different? Oh yeah, it's the one with the weird valve. No, I don't have that one. What I was saying on a previous stream, which is what we were doing on last night's stream, that was quite good. Ah, cool. Yeah, he sent me a load of free stuff, but he's not sent me one of those masks. Is we were saying, name a place you live, and then, like, obviously not your address, but like the general area you live, and then I might recommend you a camo pattern for that area. I'm alright, thank you, Boisterous. I'm overheating, but I'm only on the stream for another 10 minutes or so. So yeah, if somebody wants to name me like a location, I can try and... Right, okay, thank you. That's exactly what I want, because then I can go on Google Images or Google Earth, see what the terrain looks like, and then I can... For like an actual city itself, you'd probably want urban, but I assume you mean the area around Sacramento, do you? Right, let me switch that to satellite mode. Then I'm going to go to street level and jump on the road using the little man so I can see what the terrain looks like. A lot of the stuff near the city itself, I reckon multicam or MTP. Because a lot of it seems to be like that dried out looking, because it's obviously California, and a lot of California's desert, isn't it? Yeah, I reckon MTP or multicam for Sacramento or a lot of California. I doubt it's a tank mask thing. I mean, I imagine it's a serial number or one produced in 1972. Right, let's search Pennsylvania. Right, let me just do the UK one because that's closer to me, just for a laugh. Right, Chesterton. You're probably just going to want woodland DPM though, aren't you? Although it'll be seasonal again. Right, let me go to street level on one of the bits where I can see off the road fair distance. Right, so it's green, you've got trees, I reckon woodland DPM or MTP. Maybe Flectarn. Again, the SS Leto stuff I've got on could work at certain times of the year. Let's Kent. If you're on the more sandy areas of Kent, then you might actually even want some of the more deserty kind of camouflages for like the beach kind of stuff. But right, let me go back to the Pennsylvania one. Yeah, so what I'm saying is don't tell me your address, but tell me like the general local area kind of thing. You know, like county or state, that kind of thing. So somebody said Pennsylvania, didn't they? But I've lost the comment now. Where was it? I think it was Shot Zombie, wasn't it? And I can't find his comment again. We'll have a look for Michigan while Alex mentions that. Maps. Satellite. I reckon CADPAT might even work in bits of Michigan because you're so far north. Yeah, I reckon CADPAT, M81 Woodland or 95 DPM for Michigan. Right, let's do Lakeview, Chicago. I'll do a few more of these and then I'll head off because it's, yeah, 26.3 and I'm sweating. My hand's sticking to the desk, it's disgusting. Oh, if you're actually just in the city area of Chicago, then you're probably going to want an urban camo, aren't you, or just civilian clothes. I guess if you're in Graceland Cemetery or whatever it is, like that little park there, then you could have camo for the park. But, right, if you're in the cemetery then, I guess you'd want M81 Woodland or 95 DPM. I guess if you're in the actual city section itself, you just want one of those grey urban camos. What'd be quite interesting if somebody does like a red and grey, or like brick red and like grey, shades of grey kind of urban camo. I think that'd be quite good, but I don't think anybody's ever done one of those. Right, let's just do Northwest Pennsylvania again. Right, that's not too far away from Michigan and Wisconsin, is it? So it might be similar terrain again. Right, I reckon in Pennsylvania, again, maybe 95 DPM, M81 Woodland, potentially, again, SS Leto, but that might be a bit too yellow in places. The version of, what do they call it, multicam, that's the green variant of multicam, because they do one that's got like a green shade, don't they? Some of the Yugoslavian green camos, maybe? Right, anyway, I will probably head off in a minute as well, just because it's getting really hot. So thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, see you, Rich, and I'll see you in a bit, Mike. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream before you go off, and as said, if you're interested in the merch, not just mugs, there's t-shirts and everything else with different designs and masks on, in whatever colour you want, click below. And you can find one. I'm going to take this helmet off because my head's really sweaty. And I am now going to put the aircon on. Mike's channel is Weapon Collector. I will link you if he's not still in the chat. Let me just do that now. There you go. That's Mike's channel. So if you want to see his stream, he's starting at 9 PM. I'm doing a stream tomorrow, but it's probably going to be in the afternoon UK time because I'm out in the evening, but I don't actually have work tomorrow because I've got it booked off as holiday, which makes a nice change for me. So yeah, thank you. I'll have a nice evening. I'll probably get a cold beer and an ice cream now and turn the aircon on. So see everybody, have fun, and yes, please like the stream on your way out if you haven't done it yet, and I'll see you tomorrow for a stream. See you then. Right, bye.